Hey everyone, Chris here, and I'm going to make a windshield for my MSR Pocket Rocket. I've been reading some blogs, and there's been some people talking about how when there's too much wind, it'll blow it out. So I've seen a couple blogs and stuff about getting some aluminum or titanium sheets and making a windshield wood screen for it. Well, what I'm going to use is one of the tall Coca-Cola cans and a tall Dr. Pepper can. As you can see here, I cut a tall Coca-Cola can and a tall Dr. Pepper can. And cheap, easy. I've got my cook pot here, my pocket rocket on the fuel canister, my tape measure, vice grips, and hammer. Because I've got to put these two together so that it'll go mostly the way around, and I'll use my hammer to seal them together, and got the tape measure so I can do the measurements, and we'll go from there. Alright, not sure if you can see, but my cook pot is 4¼ inches deep, and the support for the MSR to the side of the fuel canister is 4¼ My plan is to make this windshield small enough that it fits inside the cook pot, but then when I hang it on here, it'll reach down and it'll brace itself on the side of the fuel canister, so that way when the wind is blowing, it's not blowing in or anything or interrupting. What I did with the cans is I cut the top and the bottom off, and I split it right down the middle. The aluminum can here is like 5 inches long, which works perfectly for me, because what I'll do is I'll make a lip, put these two together, and then I'll fold the lip on the top and the bottom so it's 4½ inches tall. Alright, let me put the camera down and I can go from there. Alright, what I got here is I got about 1/2 to 3/4 inch of a lip. I'm holding it here so I have this straight edge with this metal band, and all I'm going to do is bend it up. I'll have that bent that way, and on the Coke can I have it bent the other way. That way when I put the two cans together, the lips will hold each other in. Alright, let me put the camera down and I'll fuse those together. Okay, right here I have hammered down all the edges so they're nice and crisp. Hammered down the seam so that it's locked in. These won't come apart because of the fold up here. Now what I'm going to do is measure how much I'm going to need to go around my cook stove so that I can have one hole on each point, but have room so that I can still use my valve. It's going to be a guessing game. I mean, it is what it is, but we'll go from there. Okay, I got my measurement. What I did, I hammered down the edges, but before I hammered down the edge, what I did was I folded the corner and then folded the end, because I didn't want a sharp corner up there. One less thing to have to worry about while out there in the woods. And then I have test fitted it around. Now you see that this is, right now this is fairly straight, doesn't want to curl. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to hammer it over the edge of my bench here so that it'll give it this curl, the curl that it needs, and it'll stop some of this lip gap opening right there. All right, I'll be back in a minute. All right, as you can see, it wants to stay more curled, and that's what I want, for it to be like that. So then that way it'll just fit nice and easily in the cook pot. That's where it'll be stored. Yeah, I did make it, it is a little bit longer, taller, but it'll stay in there. Again, you know, it's not rocket science here. I'm just trying to do something, save myself a little bit of money. What I'm going to do now is I'll go in the house, I'll get the hole punch, and I'll pop 2 holes where the prongs for the base are, and then that way it'll just rest right here in that first groove. So when my cook pot's on there, it'll look like that. All right, I'll show you the finished product later.